All right, so this is going to be a reading for Sagittarius. And for the Sagittarius that I'm reading for today, I'm seeing that something is changing in regards to something that you care about quite a bit. And I'm seeing that it's for the best, but there's some anxiety about it. And so that's what this reading is going to be about today. Now, before I begin the reading, I just want to say thank you so much for being here and for receiving this reading. If you would like a personal reading, I do offer them at my website, ajstarot.com, which is also linked down below in the description box. And if this reading resonates with you, please take a moment to like and subscribe, as that helps out my channel quite a bit. So Sagittarius, your overall energy for the reading is the Star. And the Star is giving me in this reading the sense of, I just heard like heavenly path. Like there's a larger path to your life or a larger purpose. And you're kind of observing it from your perspective down on Earth, but there's like a bigger purpose to what's going on. There's also an energy of destiny here because we have the Star and the Wheel of Fortune showing up pretty prominently in the reading. So let's start by clarifying the Star. We get the King of Swords, the Emperor, and the Nine of Wands. And then we get the Two of Swords, the Sun, the Eight of Wands. Yeah, there's something that is coming in for you that looks really good and really positive, but it's difficult for you to see. And there might be certain thoughts that have power over you, and they're very dominating. And it comes through as sort of like a certain narrative that you might have of like, everything is really hard, or everything's going to be really challenging. And it comes through as something from your past, where maybe in the past you had a hard time, and that's really affected how you see things now. Um, and so, because of that, I think you can't see that good things are coming in and that good things are meant for you, that you're heading towards those things. Um, and when I look at the recent past for you, I have the Wheel of Fortune, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups. So you're showing me a change that happens in the recent past. Some of you could be going through this change right now, or you're still going through it. And it looks significant. It's the kind of thing where you would think that your life has a before and after this event. So let's see what that is with the Wheel of Fortune. The Five of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the Six of Swords. You're not showing me exactly what it is. You're just showing me sort of the difficulty attached to moving forward from this change, that it could have affected your stability with that Five of Pentacles, and that could have made things feel very heightened or caused some anxiety with that Knight of Swords. You are showing me the process of moving on, but basically saying it hasn't been easy. And then let's look at the Eight of Pentacles here. We have the Empress, the Fool, and the Four of Cups. You're showing me the effort that you've put into putting yourself first, coming from a place of self-love, and really moving along on the path of self-love and being led from that place. But you're also showing me it hasn't been easy with the Four of Cups, and there might even have been times where you felt like you haven't really succeeded in putting yourself first. Like, I've tried, but it didn't really go as planned. And so there might be some things that you felt like you had to cut out, or you sort of reevaluated and decided, if I'm really going to put myself first, that means I have to make some hard decisions. Let's look at the Six of Cups. For the Six of Cups, we have the Ten of Wands, the Seven of Cups, and the Three of Cups. There is a connection that shows up here, something very meaningful for you, but it's confusing. There's a confusing aspect to it. It may be that you don't know how whatever or whoever this is feels for you, or there's just something about it that doesn't feel very clear cut. You could feel like you're always left in the dark, or you're always wondering something about this, maybe about feelings that are involved, and that has weighed on you very much with the Ten of Cups. It could feel like, or sorry, not the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands represents quite a burden there, something that's been weighing on you quite heavily. And there is this energy of like wanting to come together with this other energy in harmony, but also a feeling of that being very difficult to do and being quite confused. Let's look at the current energy. We have the High Priestess, the Nine of Swords, and the Justice card. So this is a really interesting way for the cards to show up because I'm seeing that your intuition is here and balance is here. There's a sense of you're doing the right thing, you're following your intuition. Things are showing up the way that they're sort of supposed to energetically for you. But in the middle of it, we have the Nine of Swords, so that's a lot of stress, that's a lot of anxiety. And it's almost like you're getting these sort of messages from your higher self about what it is that would be the best path for you or the correct path for you. But it's very, very difficult to follow, or there's something very stressful involved in actually manifesting whatever it is your intuition is trying to tell you. And that Nine of Swords is smack in the middle of your reading, so it's very prominent here in your energy. Let's take a look. We have the Fool, we have the Tower, and the Nine of Cups. So you're showing me that this change that you're making in your life, it is initiated by you, and I'm kind of getting this feeling of like I just have to rip off the Band-Aid. I just have to rip off the Band-Aid and do it. Even if it blows my life up, even if there's an explosion, it's what I have to do for myself, to make myself happy. And whatever happens, happens. I just have to go for it. And ultimately, you're showing me this bigger picture energy of down the road, it's for my greater good. It's for my greater happiness. But in the moment, it's incredibly stressful. And it's also painful with the Five of Cups at the bottom of the deck. There's a feeling of, I don't want to do this, but I know that I have to. And again, it's interesting because you have these two really positive cards, the Fool and the Nine of Cups, with the Ten of Cups and the Ace of Cups as I'm shuffling. So there's a lot of happiness around this for you, and this feeling of, this is going to be great for me overall. But again, very, very difficult to put into action, and also a sense of maybe not being entirely sure what's coming next, and that being very frightening, and kind of just having to proceed and cut things out even though it's very difficult. Okay, let's look at the High Priestess here. You're very in touch with your intuition. You may be a particularly spiritual person. You may do things like grounding rituals or meditating. And that's something that kind of supports you throughout your life. And by connecting to your intuition, that's one way that you might be learning to put yourself first. For the High Priestess, we get the Justice card again, the Strength card, and the Knight of Swords. So again, that's this energy of, I'm going to do what I know I have to do. My higher self, my guides, my intuition are telling me something. I'm going to listen. I'm going to do it. And you're also giving me this energy of, I know that this is right for me. With Justice coming out here again, that's really double confirmation that you have a very strong sense of not just what you know is right for you, but principles, values, morals, integrity. There's this feeling of, I'm going to do what's right no matter how difficult it is. And you are showing me that it's difficult with the Five of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, with the Strength card coming out here, and the Knight of Swords. You're kind of showing me it's taking everything that I have to keep it together to make this happen. So very, very difficult. Let's look at that Justice card who keeps coming out here. It's interesting. I'm using two different decks, and in one of the decks that I'm using, but not the other, the woman who represents justice on the card, she has like a halo above her. And I just felt really drawn to that, I guess. And maybe that halo could represent, that spiritual opening, the crown chakra sort of energy. Let's take a look at Justice. The Two of Swords, the Five of Cups, Page of Wands. Why is that coming out with Justice? The Moon, Ten of Swords, the Ace of Cups. Okay, so this is again where that tension comes through of this being a painful process and also being a scary process because something's ending. That's very difficult. You're not sure what's coming next with the Moon, the Two of Swords. With the Ace of Cups and the Page of Wands, there's this feeling of trying to stay open, trying very hard to keep your heart open, to trust, to move forward with positive energy, to come from a place of love. But it's very difficult because at the same time, there is pain that's present, and there is, this feeling of like, maybe some of you feel like the floor is being pulled out from underneath you. Like, I just have no idea what's coming next. And I do see this commitment to staying open, to staying present, and staying balanced, but again, it is difficult. Let's look at the near future. We have the Ace of Wands, the Five of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles. So let's see here. I think that new things are coming in for you, and there are new things that you're showing me. I can work with this, I can take this, I can move forward, I can rebuild. But with that Five of Swords in the middle there, there's still some doubt that lingers. There's something that you might not be facing. Let's take a look at that Five of Swords. It's a bit of a heavy energy. The Seven of Swords, the Four of Swords, the Nine of Wands. Really, this is an energy where you're kind of showing me that you're okay, but you're not okay. You might be trying to like project to the world or to yourself this idea that you're all right, you're not worried, all of these things, but whatever you've been through has really beat you down. And specifically, I'm showing that there's still healing that needs to be done when it comes to the ending of whatever connection is going on here. And something is coming to an end, and it's really affected you. It's affected, I see you bouncing back, but it has affected your resilience right now. It's made you feel, I don't know, maybe jaded, maybe really exhausted, a little burnt out. And it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to grieve this connection. And as new things come in, I see you kind of jumping on those new things with the Ace of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, saying, what's next? Like, let's go. But you still have some healing to do from the past, and sometimes that just takes time, So if you are someone who's just diving into the next thing, just try to be aware that there are some feelings or some things that are lingering for you that might come up in the process. Okay, let's look at the Ace of Wands in the near future. the Hierophant, the Three of Wands, the Seven of Wands. Okay, so this is where you're showing me when it comes to that thing that's next, the thing that feels meaningful and feels gratifying, and you're like, let's go do it, that is going to feel blocked for a moment. And the reason why it's going to feel blocked is because your energy isn't completely back to 100% because you still have some healing to do. And it is coming in. I do see the sun shining, right? But even though you feel the new energy coming in, it's not going to show up until you're really ready to receive it. Let's take a look at the Three of Pentacles in the near future. The Seven of Cups, the Eight of Swords, the Emperor. Yeah, when this doesn't come in right away, I see you being like, well, what am I going to do? I need to build. I need to grow. I need to work. I need to do something. I can't just sit here. And it again comes in as that sort of dominant mentality of I should be doing this, or I have to do this, or this is what's supposed to happen. And when things don't go that way, I see you being really confused and really anxious also, because you're like, well, I need to start the next thing. I need to do the next thing. What's coming in? What am I doing here? And I see it being delayed, and it's delayed for a reason, because there are feelings and thoughts and things that need to be processed within you before you will have the room and the space to move forward. And so that's not to say that you need to dwell and suffer forever because you went through something difficult, but you're in a process of transformation and a process of change, and it's important that you honor that for the sake of your own heart, for the sake of your own well-being. And so it's almost like the universe is saying, wait, hold on just 1 second, catch your breath before you continue. All right, let's get 3 cards of advice for you, Sagittarius, before we close out the reading. The Seven of Pentacles, the World, the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, like I said, this is a process. The process of closing something out and opening up something new, it is a process, and it has certain steps. It takes a certain amount of time. You have to kind of give this process the time that it needs to unfold. And I'm seeing that you're almost there in terms of doing everything you need to honor this process, but you're not quite done. You have just one more step sort of to go, because we have a Seven of Pentacles and you completed the Six. So there's something else that maybe you're meant to learn, you're meant to process. Maybe something else is meant to kind of happen to close this all out, and then you'll be able to be on your way. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope this helps. I hope this resonates, and I'll see you next time.